I'm sure you've been in a car and you've come across this green paint and bike icons on the street. What does it mean and how do you navigate it? This is part of our community's bicycling infrastructure. It provides innovative ways to communicate information to both bicyclists and drivers. For people on bikes, this can communicate direction of travel, intersection positioning, and for drivers, it can tell us where we can expect to see bicyclists. Most importantly, this infrastructure can help us reduce conflicts between people in cars and people on bikes. So let's discuss more details of this bicycling infrastructure. This is a bike box, and these can be found at intersections where there's a lot of bicycle traffic, like around campus. At red lights, bicyclists will ride from the bike lane and fill the green bike box in front of traffic. This allows bicyclists to be more visible to people in cars and lets the bicyclists travel first through the intersection when the light turns green. Vehicles are expected to wait behind the green paint at red lights and allow bicyclists to line up in front in the bike box. Green paint can also guide a bicyclist's direction of travel. Here, a bicyclist is being directed to cross these railroad tracks safely at a right angle to avoid a crash. You may also notice dashed paint at intersections or driveways. This represents a mixing zone where car traffic will mix with bike traffic to cross a bike facility. As a driver, pay special attention and look for people on bikes in these areas. This is a sharrow, or shared lane marking. This icon reminds bicyclists and motorists to share the road. Sharrows are often found on narrow roadways where there's not enough space for a bicyclist and a vehicle to travel safely side by side. Drivers can expect to see bicyclists taking the full lane. Buffered bike lanes provide extra space between the bike lane and car traffic. This can make riding on the street more comfortable for people on bikes. Protected bike lanes add an extra layer of protection for bicyclists. Posts or other physical barriers separate bike traffic from car traffic. Contraflow bike lanes are bike lanes that legally allow bicyclists to ride in the opposite direction of motor vehicle traffic. Contraflow bike lanes are often found on one-way streets, where they're used to convert one-way traffic to two-way traffic, with one direction for motor vehicles and bikes and the other direction for bikes only. As a driver turning onto a one-way street with a contraflow bike lane, make sure to check for traffic coming from both directions. Bike lanes are for the exclusive use of people biking. It is illegal and dangerous to drive or park in bike lanes. Drivers can temporarily enter a bike lane when parking in a designated parking area adjacent to a bike lane or when turning at intersections. Some bike lanes have mixing zones to indicate where car and bike traffic will mix. Mixing zones may not be present at all bike facilities. You can still cross in these situations, just make sure the area is clear before turning. Parking in bike lanes is illegal and dangerous. It forces people on bikes out of the bike lane and into traffic. This can cause a potentially hazardous situation. Bicyclists may not always ride in bike facilities. They may need to leave because of hazards or to use appropriate lane positioning to make a left turn. Now that you have a better understanding of the safety purpose of bicycle lane markings, you can help avoid crashes and keep our community safe for all people using the road.